Make up a 70!
Yeah. Why are you looking at me weird? National days, really quick.
I'm weird.
I know.
I keep picking this one.
You saw that I already had some stuff on. I think that's what it was.
If it's the same one.
It's my favorite one, though. It's a Neutrogena Hydro Boost.
Oh, I got the Hydro Boost
And the
this time.
raspberry, vibrant raspberry. I like clear butter. Damn it. I'm just kidding. And today's National Day, which I found kind of to be a little odd, is World Kindness Day.
World Kindness Day.
Why
do you find that odd? I'm
on a Friday the 13th. Isn't that like a...
Well, no, it's apropos for 2020. Why would you want to be any different?
True.
Why would that be any different? Everything that's stupid's happening is happening in 2020.
Like
year
this computer right now is being stupid.
Yes.
And I have a major typo too. Let's see if anyone catches it. Fun game. Catch stuff's typos. Bet
I'm
you
one
will.
big typo.
True. I wasn't gonna say that, but see, now I'm making it interesting. That's how you correct your mistakes without correcting them. You make it a game. You ready to go on Facebook?
Yes. I'm so confused now. I know. Maybe that'll snap me out of it.
It won't.
Oh, well.
More to come. Can you kill those speed, please? That'll be great. That's not working out.
Or it is, who knows?
I don't know.
There's a funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday on Newswire on Twitch. Sometimes on Twitch.
I'll throw it up there, but...
Fake it, we're on Twitch.
We're on Twitch.
Thank you.
Make sure you go and follow us on Newswire.
On Facebook and...
On YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and share us all over your world.
There you go.
And check out our Instagram page, too.
Yes. That. We still got to get on Parler. Haven't been lagging
But you know
behind
what? For those that aren't on it yet, be careful when you download it, because there was another one I downloaded, and it is not the one that he's talking about. It's not.
Yeah, like, you got on the porno site Parler?
Wow. It's not.
I heard somebody...
But it's not a porno thing. It's like you click what you are interested in doing, is dating, entertainment,
oh, that's
news,
right. It was...
And then it's like it picks one person that's on, and it calls you, and then you're like video chatting. Really weird.
Yes, so you're in the shot. Are we scooting? Yes, we're scooting.
We're scooting.
We're scooting.
I like my arms cut off.
Of that. You wouldn't. I don't think you'd like that if it really happened.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
No, I mean, you bring that up. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, you got to be careful because, yeah, it's taking you to dating sites and porno sites. The hijackers out there in force on this thing, and I hope you're enjoying our neat little set. I know,
I'm going to change. I'm going to change it in a minute.
That's one of my favorite cartoons. I mean, probably the last cartoon show I watched was The Simpsons. Of that, I mean, Bart Simpson is absolutely cool.
He's like your twin. I should get a little Ned Flanders to walk by right now. Dang it!
Yeah, I guess I'm probably a combination of Bart Simpson and Ned Flanders.
Maybe.
Of that, but yeah, I always thought that was a great. I mean, is that show still on?
Yes,
it is. The Simpsons are still running. That was absolutely classic deal on that. Of course, and as we do, I mean, it's apropos. This is Friday the 13th going on because 2020 has been one big gigantic Friday the 13th. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, when we turn the clocks on that, and as most people consider it a new decade, you know, the hope and optimism and all this, and I mean, not only in the United States, but I mean across the world.
Really quick.
Comparison: are those two twins? Of the,
Twinning. Okay.
At least, yeah. Man, am I getting mocked today.
Okay, all right, I'm done. I'm done.
Of that, but no, Friday the 13th. I mean, hasn't it been? I mean, isn't it? I mean, is that like? Does that totally describe 2020 as just one big
Friday the 13th?
Yeah,
I mean, that's putting it nicely.
Groundhog Day. I mean, it's like Friday the 13th repeats every day.
Yeah.
Of that. And I mean,
but what is the thing with Friday the 13th? Like, I know it's like a superstitious.
I forgot. Yeah, something bad supposedly the witches were flying or some darn thing of that, and I don't really recall what it was. So then maybe you can look it up, see where the origins of Friday the 13th of that.
I will do it on my downtime when I'm not.
Of that. If anybody knows in the comments, put it in there.
Yeah.
What's the what the origins of Friday the 13th was. But yeah, there was so.
But no, I think you're right. I think it had something to do with like the witches. And...
Yeah, it's bad luck. You know, I mean, it's a semblance for bad luck. Bad things are.
Like I feel like black cats are supposed to be everywhere or something,
right,
and like some fog,
yes,
and like a shadow walking down the street, and think it's gonna murder you or something. Kind of thing.
Yes, that's what it was. Something like that is where it.
Something along those lines.
Where it fell off on the radar screen, but yeah, I mean, it's like that on the whole rendition on that going back and forth, to and fro. That, but yeah, I when I saw that, and I didn't realize when I woke up this morning and I saw, they say, well, this, I looked and it's the 13th. I'm saying Friday the 13th. It hasn't, and that's what the first thing that flashed in my mind this morning is 2020 has just been one big giant Friday the 13th, because just about everything that could go wrong has gone wrong in 2020.
But also, some tattoo shops will give you half off on Friday the 13th. Just in case you want to go get a tattoo. You should go get a tattoo. You want to go get tattoos?
Right.
No? Wimp.
Well, that's
the one thing you won't do.
Yes, that's the one. Yes, that's. I do not like needles at all for any reason, at any time, for any subject on that. Before we get into the serious stuff, too, Steph brought out these videos on the Matterhorn, which was off. Now, this is one bright spot in 2020, and maybe in 2021 we can all pick a project or something we can do like this.
I love this. So his name is Sean La Rochelle. Sorry if I butchered it. Of Napa, who created this like a little mini Matterhorn. Everything is in it. Like even the little, what's the snowman's guy? His name? Not the snowman, but you know what I'm talking about?
The snowman.
The little snow monster.
In what?
On the Matterhorn.
Oh, gotcha.
Dang it, what is it called?
Yes,
I had it too.
I can't remember.
But
that's
get
been a long
this.
time ago.
He is going to finish and graduate this year for architecture, and he's going to use this ride in his resume and portfolio, which I think is great. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Well.
Oh, I thought you were going to play the video. Here we go.
So he began this ride in March and got done with it in June. What's the freaking snow dude's name?
Write us in on the snow dude, who he is.
Dang it. I mean, how cool is that?
Yes, I mean...
Two stories.
So this kid did this as a high school project?
No, the dad did.
Oh, the dad did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, they did it together then, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know if the son was involved much, but I know he had stated that there was about 30 of his friends that came out and social distanced and helped. I paused it.
Of that. And we got another short video, or is that the same one, or is that a different?
I mean, you can play it.
Yeah, let's
it's
just
kids on it. I think it's
let's
really
just show some actual riders on this thing.
Yeah, look at that.
Going on back and forth as we full screener.
How cool.
Yeah, that is absolutely awesome. How would you like that in your pocket?
2 stories tall. I mean, it's simple. But look at our yard and house. It's beautiful.
Yeah, well, I say this, and one of the things, and I don't want to belabor the point of it as we go forward on the deal, but as you saw that's the neat thing about, and I really feel sorry for kids that don't grow up with enough dirt that they can do something like that, or just ride a bike on it, or dig some holes or something, or play in the dirt, or play, not play video games of shooting on there, but actually play, actually play war games or something out in the field, getting dirty, actually feeling something of doing it instead of bloop, 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 bing, 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 bam, 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 boom, 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 boom. I mean, doing something like that is absolutely, I think if there's probably one thing that I could change in society right now overall.
It would be video games?
Well, yeah, it would be much less looking at the little screen or even the big screen and more outside. Just kick them outside.
And I totally agree with you. I didn't see how big of a problem it was before we had recently moved, but since we have moved, it's like amazing watching my kids go outside. They're getting dirty. I mean, it's so annoying cleaning up all the mud everywhere. But it's neat. They're riding their bikes. They're digging. They're throwing mud balls. I used to throw mud balls at my siblings all the time. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that my kids can go and do all that now. And since doing that, they've been playing a lot less on the video games. And by doing that, I can see they're happier.
Yes.
And they appreciate it more when they get the video game time. I mean, every parent loves their kids being on video games at times because it's like entertaining them while you get stuff done.
Right.
But I do see now how much video games takes over their lives and other people's lives too.
Yes.
Even these dang little things.
Yes.
They'll take away your entire day.
Yes.
Before you know it, it's 5 o'clock and you've watched every TikTok video that's been made.
Yeah.
And you still can't get the damn dance moves down.
See, you wasted all that time.
I know. But I got some good cardio in, so,
There you go.
Don't judge me.
I want to cover this one on there a little bit. We want to get into that because this was a big breaking news of the day. California and Oregon and Washington issue travel advisories on that. COVID-19 cases continue to increase across the country. California Governor Gavin Newsom, Oregon Governor Kate Brown, and Washington Governor Jay Inslee issued travel advisories today, urging visitors entering their states or returning home from travel outside these states to self-quarantine to slow the spread of the virus. The travel advisories are to urge against non-essential out-of-state travel, to ask people to self-quarantine for 14 days after arriving from another state or country, or encouraging residents to stay local. California just passed for sobering threshold 1 million COVID-19 cases with no signs of the virus slowing down, said California Governor Gulag Gavin Newsom. And I added that increased cases are adding pressure to our hospital systems and blah, 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 of going on back and forth. So here you go. If you want, all y'all that wanted Uncle Joe Biden, who's half out of his freaking mind, this is what's... you didn't hear about this before. Only Hawaii, I think, and I think New York was toying with the idea, but I don't remember they did it. Hawaii was into the 14-day quarantine, or you had to test positive, or had to have a negative test. I think they lifted it, where if you have you have to test negative, kind of like the Ticketmaster thing. But it's going. New York's talking about it, and we'll cover that later. But I mean, this was breaking today. All three, the whole West Coast. Now, they said it's voluntary, but how long do you think before this is going to be mandatory?
The entire shutdown?
The 14-day quarantine.
I would say before Thanksgiving, but really quick, not to throw you off subject, We have a caller online that wants to go back to the video games and playing outside. Dwayne, go ahead and take it over.
Go ahead. Who's on the line?
Okay. It's Dwayne Roy.
Okay.
So, you will recall the racetrack that you had out in the backyard behind the race car garage. You remember?
Yes.
And how many times did we crash and roll around and fix bikes and do all that stuff? And it was an absolute blast to go up to my cousin's and take my bike because it was the only place we could do that. And then when I came home, we ended up doing the same thing in my neighborhood, only the local neighborhood people didn't particularly like all the wood barriers and stuff that were putting up.
Well, that was their problem.
It was. I mean, there were some some good things.
It was
that
those
came of that.
snooty Riversiders out there that just didn't want anybody to have any fun.
Whatever.
Yeah. So how did I survive? Because I remember after school one day we were jumping off the edge of a church parking lot that was about 6 feet in the air, and I contacted a telephone pole dead smack center. Got down, straightened the handlebars, got my wind back, and pedaled my butt home.
There you go. I mean, I don't, and you bring up a great point. I mean, I sit and watch if they got a hangnail, it's like we're going to die, and I mean, I'm thinking, if that's going to blow your whole world, you're in big trouble.
Well, you remember our mothers. If you came in the house bleeding, they would look at you and say, go get a Band-Aid and go back outside.
Yes, quit bothering me.
You had to be leaking profusely, like requiring stitches.
Limb hanging off or
really?
something.
What? No, no, I doubt
Otherwise, get back outside.
Yes.
No,
it was. I mean, it was a totally.
It was a totally different world there.
Yes, it was. And I mean,
my siblings would go outside all day and play hide and go seek in the street.
Yes.
Now, no. No.
Well, and it goes back to, and I don't know if you heard the 14-day, so voluntary, lockdown.
But you know what? I will go to the lockdown, though. I think it was a beautiful thing for a lot of people to realize how times have changed, and a lot of people were outdoors doing things. Did you notice that? More people were. You couldn't find a bike in any store around here. It was like impossible. Any outdoor kind of things you couldn't find anywhere.
Sure. And that's a good thing. You know what? If nothing else, it got people off the couch.
Exactly.
That's great.
Exactly.
But the thing of it is, we're having the same stupidity up here, too. I mean, we just went back to phase 2, which means we have to do the whole mask, social distancing, moronic behavior. And I've said it before, the political life expectancy of the governor in this state is going to be measured in days. This guy doesn't have a clue. Our governor just acquiesces any responsibility to the Fauci, and whatever the Fauci dictates, he follows. Because then you don't have to take any responsibility for your actions. But just about everybody I know around here is done with it. Nobody likes wearing this.
And I kind of want to take it back to the point, and that's why I brought up the 14-day quarantine in the story about the way how society has changed. Back in the day when, as you said, you half killed yourself, because if you didn't get up, your probably older cousin would have probably picked you up and put you on the bike and rolled you out there in case you didn't want to do that. So you knew one way or the other, the consequences were worse.
Who's older between you two?
Me.
Oh no.
And
how did you live, Dwayne?
You knew the consequences were worse if you didn't do that than if you suffered the other part of it. And that's what I'm getting at. In society back then, with that mindset, this stuff, all this stuff that we're talking about today would not be happening at all for any reason. It would not have been tolerated. This lockdown, quarantines, this and that, nanny state telling you can't have your family over for Thanksgiving, or if they do go to the bathroom, you got to hire a cleaning crew to come in and sanitize it every time somebody goes to the bathroom, and yada, yada, yada. I mean, back in the day, if they would have got flipped off, that would have been a mild response to it. And now the vast majority just seem to be like wilting like snowflakes.
Well, it's because we took dodgeball away. Remember I told you that. This is all because they had to take dodgeball away, right? Because we don't want little Johnny to get his feelings hurt because he might get hit with the ball. Well, what that does is that teaches you critical thinking. You learn to get faster reflexes and get the hell out of the way of the ball.
And you learn pain management.
Yes.
There you go. You take a couple of knocks and you learn to deal with it. It's not the end of the world. Look, unless your kids are playing contact sports like football and things like that, how in the hell are they ever going to figure out pain management and what their limitations are? So we don't challenge them anymore.
Yes.
We just pat them on the head and tell them, oh, well, gosh, that's horrible. We're going to take you over here and let the doctor look at you and go buy you an ice cream. Well, again, going back to our mothers, it was like, unless your limb is detached or you're bleeding enough to require stitches,
take care of it yourself, and don't be bothering me.
Right. You know where the Band-Aids are at. Go fix it. I mean, I don't understand this. And look at the outcome.
In case people don't, and I mean, the vast majority, it wasn't just our parents. I mean, that was there were degrees to it of other, but I mean, that was the basic way all the families were out here. That's just kind of how life was.
Yes. You had this little thing called self-reliance.
Yes.
And there was damn little pity for you if you screwed up. You learned from the process of making mistakes. And that became part of your experience, which gave you the wisdom to hopefully not repeat the mistakes again. And we have completely removed that from our kids. We have zero expectations from them, and look what we've got for it. We've got morons in the streets rioting because somebody took away their PlayStation.
I get it.
Yeah.
And it was,
I agree.
I was about 5 years old or something, and or 5 or 6 or something. First time I tore my bike completely apart and was having trouble getting it back together. And when Dad come home, he said, you better figure that out, because if you don't, you're going to be in even worse trouble than you are now. So again, and that lesson learned was, hey,
figure it out.
Yeah, you got yourself into this mess. You better figure out how to fix it, else you're not going to like the consequences of that. You're not going to be riding a bike if you don't figure out how to fix it.
I was reading one of my parent magazines, and they were saying how different countries parent their kids, and like in Mexico and I forget where else, they just let their kids walk down the street. They'll figure it out. They'll find their way home. They'll walk themselves to school in like kindergarten. But their point was, but why in the U.S. are parents so paranoid to even let your kids go? Those kids always found their way home. And if they didn't, somebody knew where they were supposed to go.
Right.
But why here do we not allow that? Why are we so paranoid now for things to happen?
Because we've allowed it in society like this.
But do you think it's because, it does happen? We have a lot of kidnappings and all that. But so do other places. So that's where I'm kind of like...
If you want to talk about kidnappings, go down to Mexico. They're about probably 152,000 times more than here.
Right.
You want to talk about a more dangerous society? I mean, we have a cakewalk up here.
But why are more parents in different countries less worried about that than we are here?
That's a good human behavior social science experiment or thing to look into in the future of that. Because
Let's throw you walking down the street and see what happens.
Well, again, and I kind of, it's kind of like the way I see it. It's like the perpetual motion, or what, it just like it starts growing. It starts a little bit and a little bit, and pretty soon, well, now you're locking your kids in your prison. And I think you say, like with the video games and stuff. Parents got more
It's a babysitter.
Yeah, parents got more comfortable. At least I know where the kid is.
Right.
And he's at least if he's in...
It's entertained. I can get what I want done.
Yeah.
Parents got more selfish throughout the years.
Of that.
Wouldn't you say?
Well, it's also a consequence of not having responsibility.
Yeah.
And we have acquiesced our responsibility to the nanny state and to the educational system, which has been more than happy to take up that role of indoctrinating your kid into something that no longer resembles a thinking human being. Well, they have taken critical thinking completely out of the educational system and made them dependents. And now they can't do anything because somebody else is going, yes, the White Fragility book. Somebody else is going to take care of you and fix your problems. Somebody else is going to put your bike back together. in Roy and I's day, we were allowed to explore things and take things apart and beat on things and fabricate stuff. And, nobody took the hammer and nails away from us. And if we climbed up a 20-foot tree and fell, it's like, well, you dumb idiot, don't fall. Learn not to do that.
You learned that lesson. Well, be careful, more careful the next time, because, you might break a leg or something doing that. So, yeah, and you did. As you push the envelope harder. But again, and I see it, and I say it a lot, we've taken failure and made it a bad thing, when that is how you learn. You learn much more from your failures or that, and overcoming the fear of failure and all that stuff, than you ever will trying to push somebody or saying them or getting them or thinking that you're just going to create this la world of, Oz the Inherit, or Wizard of Oz, and make believe, and everything is nothing bad ever happens. You go boom, boom, boom on a video game and stuff and that, and you just press reset and it starts again.
Right.
Well, real life don't work like that.
Yes. One of my kids were like, well, if I die, I'll just come back. I said, this isn't Mario Brothers.
Yes.
That'll be our next set.
Yeah. So Roy, when is Roy's dodgeball court going to open?
They should. They
have dodgeball at the trampoline park over here.
It is a great example, and I mean, as kind of as simple and as antiquated as it sounds, you're very right. I mean, when it's not that they took dodgeball out; it's that they took that environment out of the schools, of all around,
But they replaced it with these horrible graphic video games where you're going around talking crap to each other all day.
There you go, and then
which is way worse.
Yes.
Because at least when Timmy pissed you off at the court, you threw the ball at the head and then you got the point.
Yes.
Now you just talk crap to each other through the mic.
Yes.
And nothing else happens.
Right.
Right. And then we all crawl in and we can't handle it, emotionally of that and all that stuff, because, and then one thing, like you say, the kids are not getting out their frustrations or knowing of that stuff of that. They're, and then they how do you do that per se? Like you say, you can't, when you're going bloop, 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 bloop on your phone or your kid, you can't throw the ball at his head and say, how do you like that?
You're going to throw your phone and then you're going to be out at like $1,000.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
And
then you're really pissed off.
You need to learn to duck. That's the whole point.
Yes.
It teaches you to get the hell out of the way.
Yeah,
Critical
everything
thinking at the most basic instinctual level.
Everything is not, we cannot create a perfect antiseptic world society. We're going to come up to the bottom of the hour, so I'll give you about a minute to wrap it up.
I think keep watching the race. I know everybody's a little down on the dumps because they've kind of called it for Biden, but I did watch Trump's little press conference on the vaccine. I'm not real thrilled with vaccines, but if it gives some people some hope, great. But keep the faith and hang in there. This thing ain't over. The fat lady's not even tuned up yet. Just hold on.
As Jesse Jackson said, keep hope alive.
There you go. You guys have a good one.
You got
you
it.
too.
Thanks,
Bye, Dwayne.
Bye.
That. Yeah, we'll when we come back on the flip side of that, we'll get into the teachers unions, and then we'll end the show. We'll have we're gonna have Will Hancock on. He'll be riding tomorrow night out at Perris Raceway in the Speedway. This will be his final race as in the Junior 250 division. He was the AMA National Championship leader last year, so we'll see if he can defend his title. But he will be moving up to the bigger 500cc bikes next year, and we'll have him on to preview that race. And then on top of that, they've got the under 21 championships going on that. So the big guys on the 500 bikes, if you're they have two. Next month will be the big one where all of them, the big December race where it determines who goes back to the two that go back to Europe to represent the U.S. on that. But, and that's where everybody will ride. But this one's special, or, for the big guys, it's the under 21 championship. So it gives the younger guys a little shot to see if they can win, who's the best of the up-and-comers coming up on that, which we will think, I'm pretty sure Will Hancock will be in that run, if not next year, within the next couple of years of the up-and-coming hot shoe riders coming up, but we'll hit that a little bit later. But like I said, we'll preview the schools thing and that. But no, I think it was an interesting discussion of that going on, and I think that discussion, I admit, and you're going to see why but when we come back on the flip side of why that's coming on, because man, again, as the signs are brewing, sans Dwayne's keeping hope alive on a Trump presidency. If Joe Biden and crew come in, it's liable to get even more Friday the 13th, and what I'm hoping, hope upon hope, that 2021 does not become just one large Friday the 13th like 2020.
Stop.
I'm just kidding. I am, because that stop went from stop to of that.
Yeah, really.
But no, it's of the things, it's just like this 14-day quarantine, like how they're setting us up like for Christmas. They're going to be canceling Christmas. You're pretty much canceling Thanksgiving. All the stuff.
You can't cancel Santa Claus. Like, I'm sorry.
Well,
you're not. Thanksgiving, but no.
Well, what if you wanted to try, with this coming on, what if they make it mandatory, like this 14-day quarantine thing going on? So if you wanted to go visit, if you had relatives in another state, you're screwed. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
1 minute.
And really? Another state, that would be hard to maneuver, but I don't have any family in another state, so I'm not worried about it. But I feel bad for people that do, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that's horrible. But
or if you want to travel,
can you
anywhere.
even travel right now anyway?
Say you wanted to go to the Grand Canyon.
I really want to go there.
And there you go. What do you got to do? Wait 14 days before, or protocol pause, like we were talking about the vaccine. They're not going to tell you can't. They're going to say, but they'll say, if you're
30 seconds,
you can go. That's the next thing that's coming down the pipe.
I don't know. I want to see them try to cancel Christmas and
watch
people.
Chairs.
But how are they going to stop people from driving?
Watch.
All right, guys, here we go. 10 seconds.
Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio stations.
That funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday at 5:30 on the Matterhorn, 1490 AM. Joining our audience on iNewsWire, our video audience, which I hope give us some comments, because Stephanie spent a lot of time putting the new studio.
Okay, but this one takes the cake.
Yes, the Simpsons ones of that. See how interactive we can be? We can roll on the fly. Pretty soon we will be the dominant media network in all of the world with all this stuff going on.
Yes, we are. Just wait. Are we really? That's a lot of work.
Well, you can handle it.
Okay.
That. No, I mean, it's kind of cool like that, that. But yeah, Friday the 13th, and as we discussed earlier in the half hour, hasn't 2020 just been one big giant Friday the 13th of what's going on that we talked about? Because here's what just came out, and so far it's only voluntary, or like how you're going to do that, but like we said, how soon is it going to become mandatory? 14-day quarantine if you go from California to Oregon, or Oregon to Washington, or anywhere. All three governors from the left coast states just announced this whole thing. They're setting us up for this whole enchilada of some more severe lockdowns now that they think Joe Biden's going to be president. That they're going to put the clamps on us even harder going on and moving forward, and this does not bode well for our society. And we got in a pretty good discussion with that of all that and how that all works in our society, and dodgeball and schools on that. So I wanted to reiterate this coming up in number 4, please. New York City is poised to close schools. Rising cases may end in-person teaching even as restaurants remain open. This is in the New York Times, not part of the vast right-wing conspiracy and head leader of the dominant media culture, as was known as the paper of record in the United States. This is what they write. Months into the school year, school reopenings across the United States remain a patchwork of plans in person, remote, and hybrid, mask or not, social distance or not. But amid this jumble, one clear pattern is emerging. So far, schools do not seem to be stoking community transmission of the coronavirus, according to data emerging from random testing in the United States and Britain. Elementary schools especially seem to see remarkably few inspections. Comments, Stephanie.
I can't believe that. Did I do it right?
Yes.
Because I was focused on this. Damn it!
So, this is... Y'all want to go by the science and data. And Roy, you don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, but sometimes, you always know what you're talking about.
The science and data is overwhelming that schools do not, and young people, even if they are not spreaders of it, there is no danger of it.
But you have to consider the staff too. It's not just
they're not going to get it from the kids.
I know, but what if they carry it though? Can't they be carriers of it?
The science and the data that we have is it's almost infinitesimal.
But regardless, they're going to end up getting some cold, some flu, anything.
That they will get it, that they will spread it, that they will do it. This is in the New York Times, folks. Why I bring this out is because you've heard me. I've called out teachers unions, school districts, city officials, or all of this, of that, and I've said they are working against you. They do not. Teachers and teachers unions do not want to open schools. Period. They are fighting this. Now that you see Joe Biden is elected and they think he can get away with this.
Oh my gosh.
Look at what's happening in New York. Look at what the lockdowns are coming harder. Look at this whole 14-day quarantine setting you up for all this of traveling between states.
Rick writes in on Facebook that Elon Musk tested positive and negative in the same day.
4 times.
In the same day?
He took 4 tests. I heard the report. He took 4 tests.
Then why in the world are people still believing all this shenanigans?
Well, let me finish.
Okay.
He took 2 were positive and 2 were negative. That's why he's putting it out there. He's asking a big, what the heck is going on?
Right.
This whole test thing is a ruse. It's a bunch of BS. The amount of COVID deaths related to COVID-19 are way overinflated, and that comes from experts such as Dr. Scott Atlas, Kelly Victory, and many, many, many others. Because the hospitals, we went through it, hospitals have an incentive to put it on there because they don't have hardly any other patients because people are scared or locked down and the hospitals are shut down,
right.
Yada, yada, yada of this. That's their only source of income is to mark that. And we, the people, it's not free. We pay up to $13,000 to $40,000 for everyone they mark COVID. So what did they do? Everybody that comes in the door has COVID, pretty much. Of that. And that's why we're getting screwed. There's no free lunch, but I want to get to that number 4, please. This was written 2 days ago. Even Michael Mulgrew, president of the United Federation of Teachers, has acknowledged that schools are safer than he anticipated. We thought our biggest problem was going to be safety, he said in a recent interview, adding that education officials have been phenomenal in addressing those issues. Mr. Mulgrew said he was now concerned about the academic quality in schools. This is all correct. Now, today, in Bloomberg, this is the same Michael Mulgrew quoted in there of that. New York schools, number 4, please. New York schools headed towards shutdown, teachers union head says. As we go through the deal, as I roll it back up, and it does this to me all the time. Even though New York City schools have been a haven from coronavirus. Notice that they haven't been spreading through the schools in New York City. With infection rates well below 1%, a surge in cases in the city threatens to transform them into centers of transmission, the head of the teachers union warned. When he said it's damaging the kids, and 2 days ago, he said it's damaging the kids' education and they're not spreading it. I'm going to say this. They are lying sacks of bleep, and this is why. Michael McGrew, president of the United Federation of Teachers, said Mayor Bill de Blasio is right to insist on a shutdown if there's a citywide 3% weekly positive COVID-19 infection, up from 2.7% now. Now, how did this all change in 2 freaking days?
It's the same way his test results changed in
exactly
less than 12 hours.
It's all BS. 100%. All of you Biden mask wearing on there saying, oh, we're all going to die if we don't do that.
I'll cut your mics.
Of that. This is what you want. They are lying two-faced blanks. 100%. There is the evidence. They know. And all of you teachers, the Janus decision by the Supreme Court, and I'm no lawyer, give legal advice, but go look of that. You are not required, and you can withhold your dues from going to political contributions to fund this crap.
Neon Love Machine says they want a monopoly on gene therapies and 3D printed organs and human clones.
We need some tinfoil hats.
Yeah, we do.
Of that. And
I love your thoughts.
On top of that, this is why. Look at how they one day, and when we tell the truth, the next day we're saying exactly the opposite and we're backtracking because the establishment is what that. And every teacher, cop, firefighter, or everything else that's go to know the yes on 19, every one of you that is still giving political contributions, which in my understanding is you can not do, you can request, and your contributions or that they're doing to use to political purposes, you can withhold that money. That is your choice. According to the Janus decision, as I understand it, but go get your legal advice, go ask your union if that is the case. But you're going to cower in fear because you know there's reprisals coming if you do that. So you go along with the program because you are run by the almighty dollar. And that's what it talks about. If you're doing this, and this is the prime, this goes on each and every day. That's how we get to this lockdown. That's how we get to the 14-day quarantines. That's how we get to you can't have your family over for Thanksgiving or Christmas or canceling everywhere else or being treated worse. A 3-year-old has less restrictions on it than we do as adults in the United States of America right now.
Neon writes in, Roy, how is DNA collected on a swab? Wake up.
Again, they're going to say...
But maybe they're... I think he's on to something, though.
The old... And it is. It's like
I think it's like conspiracies all around.
Yes. It's like we brought out on the Ticketmaster story yesterday of how you're going to have to either have a vaccine or a recent coronavirus negative test, or you're not getting into the concert. That's just how they're going to do it all across the board, each and every day. This is what you got to look forward to. And again, teachers, your public employees, cops, firefighters, city workers, everybody in between. That's what your dues are going to. That's what your union is saying you support it. And if you don't speak out, tacit agreement, you are agreeing with it. So either step up or stand down. And that's the bottom line in this whole situation. We're either going to be, in my opinion, we're going to see if we become a banana republic or we are the free people, as many men, as we celebrated Veterans Day a couple of days ago, a free country where you have the opportunity to be, to have and do and be what you want to be and live a life as a free person and not have everybody tell you what, why, and how to do, which is the essence of communism, totalitarianism, socialism, whatever you want to explain it or do it, that is what's coming in our society as we go. And you look at that each and every day, and it just keeps piling on as we go. And it's sad. It's really sad that we have to endure this at a time on this, and we'll get to that. And so we're going to wrap this up. We're going to end this weekend, this Friday the 13th, on an upbeat, on a positive note, or something fun. One of the few fun things we can still kind of somewhat either enjoy, participate in, or do all that as I'm going on that. See if you can find his bio up there on the.
Yep, I got it.
You got it. We have one of the. He's going to make his final appearance, I think, if I've got it right, at Perris Raceway at the Speedway track this Saturday night in the Junior 250s. I think he won the AMA championship last year. Maybe he's defending it. But he's been a long time. He's going to graduate, I'm pretty sure, up to the wrong one. To the 500cc bikes. But to bring him on top of that, go in the message thing and find it. That he's going to be racing and defending his title there on that. His last shot is the running the 250s before he steps up. But Will Hancock, welcome to IE Newswire with Steph and Roy.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Absolutely.
Great, how are you?
Absolutely fantastic. We finally got hooked up on that. If I got that right, this is going to be your final run in the 250 division before you step up to the 500s?
Yes, you do have that right. It's going to be my final time on the 250. I've been racing it for about 2 years now, and I had to go on the 500 for a couple of days ago here, and I loved it. It's a step up, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I bet you that was fun cranking the throttle handle on that when you had that extra power to it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm a little bit of a bigger kid, in the 250 class, and having that extra power is definitely helpful. So I'm a little bit sad. I'm moving up because, I have so many friends that I race with and stuff, but I'm excited to bring on new adventures.
So tell them how much or how old a bigger kid is in the 250 division.
Well, in the 250 division, it ranges from about 13 to 16 years old. When you turn 16 years old, you move up to the 500s. And this next year, I turned 16 and I decided that, I'm going to get some time and practice on it. So this right here will be my final race on the 250, and then I'm moving up.
So what was your favorite, as you're going to, well, you got one more race, but what's your biggest accomplishment or favorite memory of running in the 250 division?
I believe it's this year. I won the 250 Speedway National Championship, and then even last year I won the 2019 Long Track National Championship, which is a little bit different class, similar riders, and a different track. But to have those accomplishments under my belt and now on my resume is very big for me, and I'm out to become that double champ. I want to hold 2 plates in 2 classes and can destroy all the competition.
Yeah, we got that, and one of the things that's going on that. But I want you, you're 15, going on 16, and moving up on there. But just tell some of the folks the amount of commitment, the amount of hours you spend either working on the bikes, training, getting ready to ride that, less than a minute 4 laps that goes by like that.
Yeah, it's you get a lot of crap from a lot of people saying, it's only 4 laps, but you have to put in a lot of work to get those 4 laps in. And currently, I'm finishing up everything here on my bike, and my dad has raced his whole life and accomplished so many things. Has taught me time is what you need to succeed, and you need to put in all you got to win. And it spends numerous hours a week training, balance coordination, eating healthy, and as well as, working on the bike, learning new things, going out to the track, practicing, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that, and especially, you're in your bio, your hometown is listed as Costa Mesa, which is a mecca of speedway racing. But you were actually born in Sweden, and you kind of mentioned your dad, and that's a good way to segue into that. Tell them why you were probably born in Sweden.
Well, my mom is actually Swedish, and my dad went over to Europe at a young age and raced over there and met my mom, and Sweden became his home away from home, and built so many friendships over there, and for me to be born over there and learning 2 languages and experiencing 2 different cultures really benefited me.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
that's really neat.
Yeah, and I would say, if you as you progress on in this and you do go back to ride into Europe, that's going to give you a distinct advantage because you're going to be like, if you go over to Europe, it's going to be like home to you.
Right.
Yeah, I think it is, and I have a lot of friends over there, and a lot of people who want to support me, and I try to follow in my dad's footsteps and do my own thing at the same time. So, I think it's gonna benefit me a lot.
And for those of you who don't know, his dad is Greg Hancock, probably, and in my opinion, probably one of the top 5 speedway riders of all time. Won world championships back in Europe and that. And on top of that, one really great guy of to hang around with or meet in the pits or talk to. Of that. And I will say this, and maybe you can comment on this, and I've had most of the racers that I've had on that, and especially if they've been brought up in racing, of that, it's an enormous advantage or that for you that you grew up in that environment and you have your dad to help you teach you this stuff and open the doors for you and that. I mean, it's like it's like an opportunity that is that, and you're taking advantage of it, which is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I think so. And meeting a lot of people over there, and riders especially, I built so many relationships and with certain people, and carried on relationships from my dad. So it's all about and who you know and what you know as well. So you know what, I'm excited to go back over there and show the people what I can do and prove myself that I'm not just Hancock's kid. I'm Wilbur Hancock.
And that is, and sometimes there's a lot of pressure, on a sibling like that. If your dad was like, one of the best of all time, people are, whether they do or not, they're going to kind of put that pressure, or they're going to compare them to you. But my advice is to you, just run, be Will Hancock and do whatever accomplishments you make. That just be proud of those and work hard at it, and if you do, maybe you'll be even better than him. Maybe you'll be the best of all time. Who knows? But if you don't, that you can still have a great career in doing that and enjoy riding and all that stuff and all that. But, there is an amount of pressure or amount of expectations, I should say, being the son of a very world-famous speedway rider like that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I kind of use pressure as a motivation type thing. And if people say to me, "Oh, you're going to be just like your dad," I kind of look at them and just say, "No, not really. I'm trying to be better than my dad."
There you go. I love it.
Move on from that and work off of that. So I use pressure as motivation, and not many people can do that, and I find that cool.
I do too, and I love the way you frame that because, you want to be better than your dad, and you're looking at that, and you're not wilting under the pressure. You're using it as a motivation to be the best that you can be, and I think that's gonna serve you well as you move forward in the up the racing ladder as you will be next year. Which division are you going to start in next year after your final race here at Perris?
I believe I'm going to start in some kind of an under 21 D2 class and work my way up from there. If I feel confident enough, I think I can race D1 not as soon as possible. So I'm working hard. I'm training and eating healthy. And working on everything else on the bike, learning new things, going out riding as much as I can, and that's going to benefit me in the long run as well.
Yeah, I think it will too. I mean, I think you got all the tools and the building blocks to have a very successful career in speedway racing. And on top of that, and even other adventures, I think the lessons you're learning right now and have learned and will learn in the future, no matter what endeavors you pursue, you'll be very successful at it by applying the principles you're using now. Let me get the tongue-tied on that. But no, I think it's going to bode very well for you in any, even beyond Speedway or beyond riding in Speedway and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do think so too, and you have to put it in perspective too. I mean, it's not only Speedway that you need to focus on. You need to focus on your life as well, because I don't want to get burnt out at a young age. I want to continue doing this and keep getting that motivation up and not giving up.
Thanks for being on, Will. It's a great. Good luck tomorrow night at Perris Raceway and the rest of your career. And don't forget us when you become the 8-time World Speedway Championship. When you do that, I still want you to come back on our show.
It's mandatory.
Oh, I'm for sure planning on it. It's great, and you guys are helping me with everything I can. And make sure to tune into xsra.tv tomorrow and buy the pay-per-view. Watch us race for that national championship tomorrow. It's going to be great.
You got it. Thanks for being on, Will.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Have fun.
You got it.
Bye.
There you go. You can watch that race tomorrow night at from Perris Raceway. Of that, they're going to have the under 21 championships and D1 and the 250 championships. All that big race night coming up there tomorrow night at Perris on that. So
how cool he gets to have that. I mean, I know he's working really hard. I'm not saying it comes easy, but to be able to go to different places and learn 2 different languages and all that—that's really cool.
No, the whole and I mean,
awesome.
It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, and this gives me hope. Guys like Will Hancock, the way he's approaching things, that's how that's how you build a successful career life opportunity of learning those lessons that he's learned on that.
Right.
And what saddens me is more kids don't learn that, or are not learning that as we go on that. But if we could get back to more of kids who had that same drive attitude like Will does, I think we're, that would at least bring a smile, I think, not only to a lot of parents, but, benefit society overall.
Exactly.
We're back on The Simpsons.
We are. I love it.
I
can't
do
help
too.
it.
It is. It's fun. It's a fun Friday.
I want to fix that picture, though.
There you go.
Right.
Of No, it's
No, I think that's great.
It is. So, catch it on pay-per-view. Maybe we'll put the links in there to that going on so you can check it out Saturday night. What else you got to do is they're locking us down harder with all the aforementioned.
Nothing to do.
This is,
How long do you think it'll be until we're completely locked down? I say before Thanksgiving.
I was going to say, by the end of the month.
All right, well, then we got to get down to the dates. I say November 24th.
So I'm going to go the 25th.
Cheater. All you watching, write in and give us your lockdown date. See,
Yes.
if we're all locked down together, might as well make it a game.
Yeah, we might as well have fun with it because, of that. But, yeah, hopefully we'll be looking for all the stuff coming up on that. But, I'm just hoping, beyond hope.
Rick wants the link put in, so maybe tomorrow we'll put up a link on the page because he wants to watch tomorrow.
You got it. Of that, and we'll see if we can get a link into it on the comment section of.
I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Of doing.
30 seconds.
I got confidence in you that you can.
God, it's Friday.
Friday the 13th is almost over.
I'll go back and put it in the comments.
We only got 6 more hours to endure of that, but I guess isn't it kind of apropos that they come out with this 14-day quarantine on Friday the 13th?
I should have came out with it on the 14th.
Do you think there's a subliminal message behind that?
No, I just think they're all evil and possessed.
Do we need our tinfoil hats?
Hell yeah. I should always have our tinfoil hats.
We should bring those back.
I need more tinfoil because I threw them away.
We'll get more tinfoil.
I'll create them.
You got it. Have a great weekend on that.
Wow.
And until Monday, we're
gone.